Governor Romney, it's John Heilman here. I'm going to stick with foreign policy for a second. There was a story a couple days ago, or maybe yesterday, in the Daily Beast about Boko Haram, the Nigerian militant group responsible for abducting 200 girls in Nigeria. Secretary Clinton came out this week and branded that an act of terror. The story in the Daily Beast pointed out that when she was Secretary of State, she had refused to label that group officially a terrorist organization, even though the FBI, the Justice Department, the CIA wanted to have it happen. I want to ask you a two-part question about that. First, to address that specific story, and secondly, to ask you a broader question, which is whether you think Secretary Clinton's time as Secretary of State will be an asset or a liability for her if she runs for president.
Well, first of all, we'd like to hear whether she believes the failure to label Boko Haram as a terrorist organization was a mistake on her part or on her agency's part, or whether it was not, and what the logic was for not identifying this group as a terrorist organization. She hasn't done so yet, and I think people would like to hear her answer to that. With regards to her career as Secretary of State, I think, in fact, that's going to be an enormous liability for her, because this is, after all, the if you will, the evidence of her leadership capacity. And frankly, the 4 years that she served as Secretary of State were not good years for the United States of America abroad. She worked hard and she shook a lot of hands, and people said, boy, she's been on the airplane a lot. That's a good thing. But if you look around the world, whether in Asia, Latin America, the Middle East, North Africa, this was not a good time for America. As a matter of fact, it's of a nation that over the past 4 or 5, 6 years thinks more of America, respects America more today than when the President and Secretary Clinton took office. So I think her record there is a very substantial liability for her campaign in 2016. And I think it's going to raise a lot of questions about her capacity to actually accomplish things of significance, particularly on foreign soil.